And continuing from the last movie, and now let's go to an interval expression which gives us intervals between different dates. Hit return on this one. What this is telling me is that my system timestamp is June 7, 2012 and my show date is August, 2 months hence, so it's got 2 months, got an interval of 2 months, 0 years and 2 months. If I was to say take 1,000 days, a little under 3 years, and then take 1,000 days off here, return again, trying to get a bigger interval, and that gives me an error. I think it probably doesn't like this. Once these two expressions divided up, it's getting confused between the interval and the calculation. It's thinking about it. And here's the result. As you can see, 7th of June 2012, 20th of November 2009, it's actually got 2 years and 7 months in the top line. That's an interval expression. A scalar subquery expression. Again, select null from dual is a scalar subquery expression because it pulls a single value. Select 10 from dual is also a scalar subquery expression, a single value pulled from a query. You could say select star from category where row num equals 1, finding one row. Again, a scalar, no. That is not a scalar subquery because it's pulling multiple columns. You'd have to say something like category ID, a single value. And then obviously you can say name from category where category ID equals 3. Assuming there is one. Finds a single value, a scalar subquery. And here we have an expression list, which means that we select something blah 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 blah, blah in expression list. This is the expression list, a list of comma separated values. And you run this and you find whatever the result is as a result of using that expression list, 3 rows. A cursor expression embeds a cursor into the result of another query. So you've got a query here, it creates a cursor which passes back technically a pointer object to this query. So we run this and what we get is this curious thing here, which happens to be built in an object type structure. If I double click and I do that, it gives me the value that's in there. So we could actually do, let's try this. Let's take a copy of this. Let's run this again here. But this time what we'll actually do is we'll say select everything from state. Run this. We're linking them together. And double click this, open this up. And it gives me essentially all the columns inside that table. Now, can we do this and create something unpleasant by removing the where clause that applies technically a join? What will this do? It does it. Basically, look here. Now we've essentially pulled all the data from the subquery and found all the rows for every row. So for every row of city we find all the states, regardless of whether they match or not, doesn't make any difference. A case expression is interesting because it allows you to embed decision-making capability within a query. Essentially this. In the previous course we looked at a thing called decode. The decode function for each row basically says if the state code is CA, push out that. If it's that, push out that. If it's that. If it's nothing, do that. So you run this query and you get a result that says if you're in CA, you're a surfer. GA, Nevada, New York, you don't have any. We have New Hampshire, Oregon, and Florida. So for the other states, we get whatever. Coming down here, we've got a certain type of case statement that allows you to put the state code up there. And we run this guy. Same result as the decode. And we can also push the state code down into each one of these, implying we can have different parameters here. And we get the same result again. So there's two ways to build the case statement. This way and this way. And they are different, and they do actually have names. This one, where the code or the specifier is put next to the word case, is called a simple case statement. And the other type is called a searched case statement. If we go back into the Oracle manuals, you'll find here simple case, searched case, expression, when comparison, when comparison, when comparison, when comparison. Or search case, when condition then, when condition then, when condition then, when condition then. So here's your simple case, where you apply the field or whatever the restriction is at the word case, and then say when something, when something, when something. And the search case says, case when something, then do this, else do something else. Case when this, do that, case when this, do that. You can apply obviously different specifications within each of the elements of the case statement. And going back to here, we've finally got all through the different types of expressions, and I'm going to take this script and push it back into my script file.